going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing great. Hope you're having a great week thus far, and I hope your year has been great. And looking forward to a stronger year, reaching all your goals, and working even harder to get there. I'm not going to keep you long. I just want to share some very good points. I want to say hey to my brother Lawrence Womack. Good to see you, Hardy Bell. Sorry guys, I haven't been on lately. I've been working on some projects that's been keeping me extremely busy. Trying to get everything in line with business and all that kind of stuff. Got several projects coming up, including some over in Guinea, over in Africa. So, been very busy, folks. Hey, Natasha Perry. I want to say hello to Diane Rosier, my sister-in-law for life. Yes, absolutely. Guys, I don't want to keep you long, but I do want to talk about something that's very, very important. Ogbibor. I hope I pronounced your name right. Thank you for joining. I want to talk about something that's important. I see a lot of people posting videos with police harassing young black males. There's some brutalities that comes about, males getting shot. There are some males getting tasered and things like that. Now, although there are situations where males may not have had weapons, they put their hands up or they put their hands to the side or what have you, and the police still shoot them. Unfortunately, that's an unfortunate situation, and sometimes you can't do anything about it. Recently, there are videos out there now of a recent situation where a young man was on a rooftop and the police shot him, and he was being submissive. He was like, "Okay, I'm here," you know. He didn't give any force back. He didn't, no resistance. They shot him anyway. They say he was trying to reach for a gun behind one of the air conditioners. The air conditioner was probably about 3 or 4 feet away from him. So he was not reaching anywhere. You know, making stories to cover themselves. Those situations are unfortunate. But then you have some situations where, you know, we can do our part as well as black men to avoid having things or egos to flare up amongst cops, okay? I've been pulled over since I've been in Florida. I've been pulled over probably about 4 or 5 times. Each time I was given a ticket one time out of the 5 times I've been pulled over. And that ticket was simply because I didn't change my address to my living address. I was late doing that. They gave me a little ticket for that. But the other times, they just let me go and say, hey, just be mindful of this area in terms of the speed or what have you. And it was a good day. I was very respectful. Great day, officer. How are you? He'd tell me, they might say what they pulled me over for. I say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the sign. I take total responsibility for it. My apologies. Anything that, you know, that you see fit that needs to happen, you won't get no fight out of me. I'm happy to comply with whatever you need. Now, whether I find them in the wrong or not, if I found them in the wrong, I will react the same way, okay? Because my goal is to get to where I'm going, whether I'm going to a business meeting or I'm going home or wherever I'm going. My goal is to get to my destination safe and in one piece. That is my ultimate goal. When I get pulled over, that is my ultimate goal, is to get to my destination safely. Focus there, folks. Focus on getting to where you need to go or where you're going safely. Okay? Now, hey, Valencia, Sylvia Fleming, and Breezy, how are you? So that's the ultimate goal, folks, is to get to where you're going safely so that you won't risk your life. Okay. Now, like I said earlier, there are situations where black men have done the right thing and they were still attacked by the cops. Unfortunately, that happened. I don't have an answer for that. But if you've recorded it, that's the best thing that you could have done, is record it. I'm not big on recording every incident. Every time somebody come up with an incident, or I'm out in the street and I see somebody arguing and fighting, I want to start recording stuff. I think that's nonsense. That's not who I am. I don't do that. Police pull me over, I'm not going to be quickly pull out my phone and want to record a conversation. All I want to do is make sure I do my part to make sure I don't flare up the officer's ego so that I can get to where I want to go safely. Now here's the key, folks. Hey, Toma. Hey, Alicia Gibbs. Here's the key. Here's my subject here. Here's my position. If I find the police in the wrong, I don't need to try to prove to him that I know the Constitution, that I know my rights, that I know that he's wrong. I don't need to try to question him, telling him he have no right to do these things or say these things to me. I don't have a right to get out of the car. I'm going to participate. I'm going to cooperate. I'm going to keep, exactly, Breezer, keep my hands visible and cooperate 100%, even knowing that that cop is in the wrong. Now, once I get to my place safely, then guess what I do then? I'm home safe, I'm where I am safe. Now, I pick up the phone and I call Internal Affairs and report that incident to Internal Affairs. Police officers hate to go through anything where they have to face Internal Affairs. Don't go try to contact the lieutenant. Don't try to contact the captains. Don't try to contact the commanders. Go directly to Internal Affairs. Here's what you got to understand, folks. And me, I've served as an ANC commissioner in Washington, D.C. 3 terms. And I served as a chairman one of those 3 terms, okay? Here's what I found. If you go directly to a lieutenant or sergeant or higher officer about the current officer who pulled you over and harassed you, they more than likely is going to cover for that officer. They are going to cover for that officer, okay? Their tone will be in all support of the officer that harassed you. Now, if you go to the Internal Affairs, the Internal Affairs are going to contact the police department and let them know what their complaint is. That higher officer's tone will be much different to Internal Affairs than it will be with you. Okay? So make sure, folks, that you contact Internal Affairs. Don't try to talk about the Constitution to the cops. Most of them cops don't even understand, don't even know the Constitution. Most of them cops don't even need to know that you know your rights. Stop trying to prove your intelligence to cops who are looking to hurt you. Anyway, and the fact that you're improving your intelligence to them is flaring up their egos even more to the point where they want to find reasons to hurt you. Don't do that. Cooperate 100%. Get your ass to where you need to go, and then contact Internal Affairs. And when I say contact Internal Affairs, I'm telling you to bypass talking to that officer supervisor, who would be their sergeant, lieutenant, or captain, or commander. No, don't contact them. Let Internal Affairs contact them. And they're going to have to deal with that officer in a way that is going to satisfy the Internal Affairs. They're not going to deal with that officer to satisfy you. When it comes to you, they're going to cover for that officer. But they won't cover for that officer when Internal Affairs contact them. And I'm telling you this from sheer experience, folks. Why? Because I had constituents in Wingate Apartments up in Southwest Washington, D.C. when I was an ANC commissioner. One of the constituents was a young girl who was like 13, 14 years old. The officer punched her and busted her mouth wide open. I took pictures of this young girl's face, of the officer who hit her. And I went directly to Internal Affairs. Internal Affairs handled the situation. Also, thank you, Brother Henderson Long, for DC Police Internal Affairs page. Another situation, I called the police department, and a lieutenant answered the phone And the lieutenant was not helpful. The lieutenant was smart, was smart aleck. He was being an idiot. He was being an a-hole. And I happened to know I found out who that lieutenant was. And just for having lack of customer service over the phone, I went to the internal affairs even for that. And that's a very, very small issue. And internal affairs pulled that person in to their office, had me to come down into that office, and they mediated the differences between me and that officer. That officer was scared to death. They are always scared when having to face the internal affairs. The internal affairs job is to catch cops not doing their job properly. Okay, you guys understand that? The internal affairs job is to find police officers not doing their job properly. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you guys. I wanted to take time to share that information. You'd be surprised how many people are out here that do not even know this. Okay, so let me back up. Let me rerun. Let me summarize this whole thing. Hey, Eric Davis. Hey, Janae. I think Dyson. I hope I pronounced your name right. I don't like to butcher people's names. So listen, folks. I'm going to say this over. I'm going to summarize everything I just covered here. 1, blackmails. When you get pulled over by a police officer, whether you think that officer is wrong or right, cooperate. More times, you will get out of the situation free. Probably without even having a ticket. I have done it. I've been pulled over, and I'm in the South. You guys consider the South the most racist part of the country. I'm right here in Florida. Pulled over 5 times and got away. 4 out of the 5. And the 4th time, the time that I didn't get away, I got ticketed, was because I didn't change the address on my driver's license. That was it. The other times, the officer was polite because I gave out that energy. See, the universe, folks, you understand this. The universe operates on 2 things and 2 things only. Energy and frequency. Don't put that officer in a negative frequency because they're going to attack you. So what I've done is cooperated. Complimented on how the day was going. Ask the officer, even though you know where you're going, to say, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to a certain place. I totally take responsibility for my speed. I didn't see the speed sign, but if you can help me out, officer, in the meantime, to help me get to where I want to go by giving me some good directions, you know, I won't have to try to rush to get there. I really appreciate your help. Or something. Be nice to him. Even if he want to be mean, the fact that he can't attack you is because you're being respectful is probably hurting him more, right? Because they're looking for a reason to attack you, tase you, or even shoot you. So cooperate. So let's back up. Cooperate. Number 1. Cooperate. You may not even get a ticket. You probably won't get a ticket. Okay? Number 2. Focus on getting to your destination safely. Okay? Number 3. Once you get to your destination safely, call the internal affairs and let them know the wrongdoings of that police officer. Okay? You got to clock the time that you were pulled over, because when you contact internal affairs, they're going to know what time you were actually pulled over, because when the cops pull you over, they got to call it in. They've already asked for information on your driver's license when they pulled you over. Okay? So they're going to match the time frame, and you will see when that cop was actually pulled over, when I had actually pulled you over. Okay, so that's the thing. Once you contact internal affairs will take your information down. They will contact who they need to contact. They will contact the captains, the lieutenants, the commanders of that precinct the cop came from, and they will come to them differently. And those captains and to lieutenants will not defend that officer like they would defend that officer if you were to contact that captain. Let internal affairs take care of that. That's just like having a lawyer. You see, it's called staying in your lane. I wrote it in my book. It's just like a doctor. Let your doctor worry about your health. You focus on abundance and prosperity. Let your lawyer worry about your legal issues. You focus on abundance and prosperity. Let the internal affairs take care of the police department. You focus on prosperity and abundance. So that's the key, folks. I hope this is very helpful to you guys. Please share this video with anybody. Those of you up in DC, please share this in the Ward 8 groups. I'll probably share it as well. Let this video take toll. Let it go around the world, because people need to know this. Many people don't even know that there is an internal affairs. Many people probably don't even know that there is a such thing as internal affairs. They never even heard the words before. Okay, so let them know that cooperate, get home safely, and then contact the internal affairs about the officer who were harassing you. That's all I wanted to say, folks. I hope this is very helpful to you guys. I want you to live life to the fullest, and I want you to help others as much as you can. With that being said, sing like no one can hear you. Dance like no one can see you. Love like you've never been hurt. And live like it's heaven on earth. I'm Jay Lee. I love you, and the world needs you. So stop that damn texting and driving. Peace and blessings, folks. Have a great day.